In this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to explain to you how Paul Simba Arati is going to survive beyond 2027, especially now that Fred Matiang'i has made it easy for him.
Ndio nilifanya tukaongea na Mheshimiwa Fred akiwa kule World Bank. Tukaulizana maswali mengi kabla haja resign kutoka World Bank. Akaniuliza, ndugu yangu, unaonaje? Nikamwambia, ndugu, kuja, hii ni Kenya. Kuja tujaribu, na sisi lazima tupatikane katika meza ya kikapu cha nchi yetu.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the recent past, I told you that Simba Paul Arati is at a crossroad, is at a loose end. The guy was confused. Now that with the entry of Fred Matiang'i in 2027 presidential race, I told you how it complicated the Simba Arati equation beyond 2027. Now, things have changed. I told you also, 2027 is far. A lot could change, and indeed, a lot has changed. Now, Fred Matiang'i has made it easier for one Simba Paul Arati. And Paul Simba Arati is a shrewd politician. He don't take chances. Has used that opportunity very well and is capitalizing on it, and is really working. Observing the activities of Simba Arati recently, in fact, after the demise of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, I can see that Simba Arati's future, political future, is shining. Simba Arati is actually making steps.
Kama unaniona weka mkono juu. Nikisema ODM tunasema tuko tayari. ODM. Mko tayari?
Ladies and gentlemen, before I go further, I could request, if you haven't subscribed, or you can confirm whether you have subscribed and turn on the notification bell. Kindly click to the subscribe button down here and turn on the notification bell so that you are notified every time we post a new video. And if you like the nature of content I'm doing, kindly nipe like please. And this is one of the support unaweza nipea. Na pia sijaona kakitu, namba naona hapa sijaona kakitu. And also I want to take this opportunity to send my greetings to Vahati. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Simba Paul Arati, especially after the death of Raila Amolo Odinga, the party leader, Simba Arati has been making moves around campaigning. We saw Simba Arati at Kisumu, we saw Simba Arati at Siaya, at Nakuru, and even at Mombasa. It is a darling to the people at the ground. Simba Paul Arati is the deputy party leader of ODM. Is the deputy party leader of ODM. So that means he is one step to the party leader. If Paul Simba Arati want to be president of Kenya, he can, but he have to calculate very well. And since the party ODM has indicated that is going to support Dr. William Samoei Ruto for his re-election, Simba Arati probably, he might, according to how people are going to advise him being a shrewd politician, you know this, probably he has no chance, especially in 2027. Now, he might consider defending his seat as a governor of Great County KISII. So, Simba Paul Arati has been calculated. Now, we saw this coming, but we said we chose to listen. By then, Raila Amolo Odinga was alive. Majority hoped that Fred Matiang'i was going to form his own party, or probably use the party associated to him, the UPA party, to negotiate with. No, Fred Matiang'i is a presidential candidate. Gusii people have projected him as a presidential candidate. Now, Simba Arati was at the crossroad because majority of Gusii, in fact 90% of Gusii people, that is KISII and Nyamira county people, are pro Fred Matiang'i, and actually walimpeana Fred Matiang'i aende kupigania ile kiti kuu cha president cha upresident. Hiyo ndio iliweka one Paul Simba Arati at the crossroad because coming with ODM, which is currently unpopular, he was going to be perceived like is opposing Fred Matiang'i, anampiga brother yake Fred Matiang'i, how? Lakini sasa vitu zimechange, things have changed, ladies and gentlemen. It is very clear now Fred Matiang'i is going to vie or is going to that table in united opposition to negotiate for presidency, whether he's going to be a presidential flag bearer under Jubilee Party. Currently, as we speak, Fred Matiang'i is not a preferred presidential candidate, especially from the united opposition side, unless he decides to go alone. So, Fred Matiang'i is under Jubilee, is a deputy party leader of Jubilee, just like Simba Arati, who is now a deputy party leader of ODM, a bigger party than Jubilee. ODM is very big than Jubilee. So, suppose Fred Matiang'i was to form his own party or use his existing party, UPA. I want to tell you this. Anybody who was going to be perceived to be opposing Fred Matiang'i, in other words, who was going to be perceived to come with a different party, for instance, ODM, for instance, UDA, was not going to make it. Yeah, it was doomed to fail terribly. I tell you, mtu yeyote, nirudie, anybody mwenye angekuja na chama kingine na wala si chama cha mzizi ya KISII, si chama cha Fred Matiang'i, that person, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, was doomed to fail terribly. I tell you, angeanguka asubuhi na mapema, be it ni Osoro, be it ni Japhet Nyakundi, be it any hata governor mwenyewe Simba Arati angeanguka asubuhi na mapema. But since that is not the case, Jubilee Party is even a second, is the deputy party leader, and Jubilee as roots is a Mlima. That means it is not a KISII party, it's not a Gusii party. That means things have already changed. Anybody kutoka Gusii anaweza ulizia kiti kupitia chama chochote, as long as that person anasema ya kwamba Matiang'i tosha, kule juu ni Fred Matiang'i, kule juu ni form, hapa chini niwekee kura, anaweza pata tu. That is why in recent past Raila Amolo Odinga unapata anapigiwa kura KISII, Gusii, KISII and Nyamira counties, anapata kura mingi kutoka hizo county. But wabunge zero. In fact, there is a time, was it 2017? Yeah, 2017, Raila Odinga had no single MP. Hakuwa na MP moja, hata moja hakuwa, isipokuwa woman rep. Especially in KISII at Nyamira. Yeah, I think it's only a woman rep in the name of Janet Ong'ira ndiye alikuwa tu MP peke, but constituents like North Mogrango, South Mogrango, Machoge, Bobasi, hakuna no MP, but Raila Odinga at the top, president. Case is so funny. So Fred Matiang'i has failed there. He didn't form his party. Now that is vying using somebody's party. This has saved one Simba Arati. I think the supporters of Simba Arati, wengine walikuwa wananipigia simu wakiniambia, wewe unajua Simba Arati pia ni deputy party leader. Kwani unaona aje Simba Arati? Pia Simba Arati ako projected, is one of the super minds we have. Yeye pia ataingia katika urais, si ati lazima Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Kwani Simba Arati nini ana? Kwani Raila Odinga alikuwa mjinga kuweka Simba Arati as the deputy party leader? Wewe unasema nini? Simba Arati pia ni mtoto wa mtu, lazima pia ajipiganie, na yeye tutamsupport mpaka tutamweka kule juu. But I just told them, cool down. On the ground, watu washasema ni Fred Okengo Matiang'i, na lazima tukae united to front one person. It's one person at a time. Probably Simba Arati, if he plays his cards very well, watu watamconsider next time. But for now, since Fred Okengo Matiang'i is the one ambaye watu wamesema kwamba ni yeye watasupport, lazima pia watu wote Gusii region, KISII and Nyamira waunge mkono one person. That is why, in fact, unataka kuniambia David Kinani Maraga kuna mahali amekosea? Hapana. David Kinani Maraga is also a formidable candidate, is one of the credible candidates we have. But why is David Maraga losing the ground? Simply because Fred Okengo Matiang'i ndio watu walimproject fast than these other guys. Even this Simba Arati was it once in fact even now is a darling. In fact, kama wanapiga Maraga hivyo na Simba Arati hawajampiga hivyo, that means Simba Arati is a darling. Simba Arati, si eti hao watu wamekosea. Simba Arati can be even a good candidate also. But for now, on the ground, watu wanasema for us to be taken serious, we have to be united under Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Sasa Matiang'i amerahisisha vitu kwa Simba Arati. One, he has not formed his party. That means Simba Arati can still vie use ODM na still a win. I don't know how he's going to manage. Now, this will depend whether Matiang'i is going to be the united opposition flag bearer ama Matiang'i is going to vie for presidency. In case Matiang'i is going to vie for presidency in 2027, whether as a united opposition candidate or ajiendee mwenyewe aulize tu kivyake, it might also complicate things for one Simba Arati. Suppose Fred Okengo Matiang'i is going to be united opposition flag bearer, is going to vie for presidency, it is still complicating things for one Simba Arati. Yes, because Simba Arati is singing two term. Gusii people wanataka one of their own, that is Fred Okengo Matiang'i to be president. Niambie, Simba Arati is singing two term. That means he's going to oppose Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Still, in a complicated things to Simba Arati. One thing which is going to save Simba Arati, Matiang'i wakielewana katika ile meza ya united opposition, Matiang'i basi wampe ile kiti yake yenye iko constitution ama wampe deputy president. At least it will soften things. Two, kitu inaweza save Simba Arati, hii kusimama kwa fence, kukaa neutral, iwezi msaidia. Kitu inaweza msaidia Simba Arati, ajua in ODM kuna different factions, or we have at least two factions. Either ajiunge na hiyo faction ambayo iko Aunt William Samoei Ruto, aunge Fred Okengo Matiang'i mkono, ama aunge William Samoei Ruto mkono na atanguka asubuhi na mapema. I tell you, unless a miracle is going to happen, and unless Fred Okengo Matiang'i is not going to be presidential candidate, that is what, hiyo ndio itamsave one Simba Arati. Nimeongea sana, najua nimeongea sana, so wacha niachie hiyo video hapo. Hata nyinyi mnaona ya kwamba Simba Arati still mambo yake, hata kama Simba Arati bado ni lion, atanyeshewa kabisa, but mambo yake bado tu ina depend venye ata play card zake hapo mbele, na pia ina depend how Fred Okengo Matiang'i kutakuwa vile mambo yake ya Fred Okengo Matiang'i itakuwa huko mbele. Akikuwa presidential candidate, bas mambo inaweza kuwa complicated kwa one Simba Arati. jamaa wakimpea ile ukiti ya prime minister vile walikuwa wanasema, which is not in constitution, then chances of Simba Arati surviving beyond 2027 ziko there, ziko. So I don't know, I could be wrong. Probably you have a divergent views. Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you are notified every time we post a new video like this. Ladies and gentlemen, see you in the next video. My name is KISII. Born